Welcome to MarcusG.TV. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. I'm a chef on a mission. Today's mission is health, one of my favorite missions. I love sharing my passion about healthy food. And I got to tell you that it's like a confession. I was killing you. I was killing the guests that were walking in my door of where I was working, the restaurant that I was involved in Colorado, every place I had worked. Because restaurants, and especially chefs, have no idea about nutrition. All they do is know how to make food taste good, okay? And hopefully that's the case. And it wasn't until I discovered that the food had to nourish my body, as well as taste great, was when I really found what cooking's about. Now, I've been in a weight loss struggle, ever since I was probably 19, 20. I can remember every job I took, I'd always gain another pant size. It was like, okay, size 32, 34, 36, 38. When I hit size 40, when I was 28 years old, I said, I can't do this anymore. This is absurd. This is insane. I got to break the cycle. So I said, I've got to read every single book out there, okay, on nutrition, understand what's going on in food. And I've still struggled after the fact. When I was 28, I was able to lose probably 40 pounds and become healthy, right? So then I started running, and then I've actually struggled all along. And the reason why I love to tell my story about what I've done and what I'm doing is because I've had the struggles. I'm not somebody who has so-called great metabolism, who can eat whatever I want and be skinny. I'm somebody who's on that roller coaster of weight, and it sucks. It really, really sucks. And I've done the Atkins diet, I've done these high-protein diets, I've done these virtually no carbs. I've done the cabbage soup diet as a way to lose weight rapidly, really quick, for an event coming up, like a wedding or something. You want to look good, do 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the cabbage soup diet, and lose weight. So a lot of those approaches just aren't sustainable, right? You're on these roller coasters, and you're always like wondering what's the best food to eat. Well, now, I've been vegetarian, which is no secret, for a long time. Mostly vegetarian, vegan-ish. There's been times in the last 12 years, 13 years, that I've gone back to eating meat on a regular, semi-regular basis, okay? Because, I wanted to see, well, what's going to happen if I start incorporating eggs back into my diet? What's going to happen if I start incorporating lean meat, grass-fed meat, wild salmon? What's going to happen to me? And I've got to admit, I've had my restaurant for 10 years, and I'm under, I want to say, a good amount of stress. But at the same time, I'm also expected to perform at a high level, okay? Just like a basketball player or a professional athlete, right? I've always got to be ready to go. I can come in at 7 in the morning and I'm here till 1 in the morning, and I got to be ready to come back at 7 in the morning again. Chefs are like that, okay? We got to be full of energy. So, I've got to admit, the one diet I've been doing that I just absolutely love, that's an awesome lifestyle. I've done this a couple times, and and I've tried to modify it, and I've gotten out of it, and then I go back to it. And every time that I lose weight and keep it off, and I'm full of tons of energy, is when I do the high-carb diet. Now, it's just not any high-carb diet. It's the low-fat, raw vegan, or mostly raw vegan diet. This high-carb diet just fuels me beyond belief. I have so much energy. And really the pioneer of this high-carb diet, Dr. Douglas Graham, 80-10-10. This book is awesome. So now, of course, I was just on Cook Your Ass Off, the show, which was a phenomenal show. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I've had so many comments like, Marcus, you told me the show is about health, right? And I'm like, well, yeah, it's about health. We're supposed to be helping somebody. A lot of people said to me, that show wasn't about health. Those chefs didn't know about it. I mean, the comments came in they're like, I can't believe you got eliminated because, you were the one that was doing the most healthiest dishes. And hey, a show's a show, and I'm not there to judge. I had a great time doing it. And I want to keep sharing my mission about eating healthy food. So here's what I've done this year, okay? January 1st, I went back on the 80-10-10 diet, okay? Now I went on to this being a vegetarian, but I was more of a high-fat vegetarian. I was like, yeah, I'll take my fake cheese, right? I'll take my nuts, I'll take my grains, I'll take my olive oil, I'll take my salad with olive oil on it. And my fat must have been 20, not even 20, 30, 40% fat, okay, in my diet, which when you think about that, it's just crazy. So I've been really tracking my macronutrients, my fat, my calories, my fat, my protein and my carbs on a program so I can track it every day and see where I'm at. I don't track it much anymore because after 5 weeks of doing this, right, 6 weeks of doing this, I know that I'm allowed a certain amount of nuts. I know I'm allowed a certain amount of olives. I know that threshold just like that. So here's results of the 80-10-10 diet since January 1st, 2010. It is now the February 10th. So 5 weeks, 5.5 weeks. I am down 18 pounds. My running is through the roof. I have so much energy to run now that I just got back into running, and it's amazing because I'm rocking out 40 miles a week now in the winter time when it's 5 degrees out, 10 degrees, 15 degrees. We've had a rough winter here in New York, right? Really rough winter. But I have so much energy that I'm out there running. I've got all this fuel, all these carbs. And the neat thing is here, I love wine. I love wine. I love beer. It's no secret. I own a restaurant. I have a great wine list. I have a great craft beer list here. I'm not a spirit person. I would never order a vodka or scotch, anything like that. But I love a good IPA. I love a good full bodied Shiraz. I love a Sauvignon Blanc in the summer from New Zealand. It's no secret, okay? That's really one of my passions too. Since I've started the 80-10-10 diet, I've had no desire. I don't even want to call it a craving because it wasn't ever like I had cravings before. It was just a social aspect to drink. But I have no desire to even drink anymore. It's like, for me, a night of drinking is 1 glass of wine now instead of 2 bottles, which I would do if I was with the right crowd and we had a lot of good wine, because I have a lot of good wine here. My friends have a lot of good wine. We would open wine and drink wine. So now, and I've only had one day where I actually was at a wine festival that I was doing. That was my wine festival that I actually drank. And then one other time I had 1 glass of wine. And because there's 4 or 5 bottles of wine open, and I said, I'll taste a little bit. But I poured a little bit, swirled it, tasted it. I drank maybe 1 glass combined for the whole afternoon and dinner out of 5 bottles that were open. And I have no desire to actually drink. And it's great because, you know, when you drink a high alcohol beer like 8-9%, you have one of those, a half of those, it's easy to now say, wow, this tastes good and I want another half, right? I can take that, I can put it in my mouth, I can swirl it around, I can taste a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of it, which is an ounce, right? And say, that's it, I'm done, I've tasted, I've been satisfied, and go right back to rocking out the carbs. So, down 18 pounds, no alcohol cravings, no alcohol desires, okay? Went from 7 hours of sleep, 6.5, 7. Sometimes I'd get 7.5 hours of sleep. Went down to 4.5 hours of sleep, 5 hours. And you know, I try to struggle to say I'm going to stay in bed, I'm going to go to bed early, but it's like when I go to bed early, bam, I'm up. I go to bed late, I'm up. And I wish I could get to bed every night early by 9, 10, 11 o'clock. For me, 11 o'clock is early because I own a restaurant and I'm here, especially on weekends. I'm here until midnight. I'm here until 1 o'clock, 1:30. I have forced myself to say, you know what, it's not that busy this Friday. I'm going to rock it out, go home. And I've done that a few times at like 8:30, 9 o'clock, which I would have never done before. But it's like, man, I just want to go home and I just want to chill out. I want to relax. I want to get in the bed. I want to get my rest, because rest is super important, especially if you read 80-10-10. You'll find out that rest is super important to your health. A lot of other things are important to your health. So that is my rundown of 80-10-10 for 2014. I'm going to hopefully make more videos like this to educate people on the benefits of going high carb, okay? Because the benefits are just amazing, and I've done it in the past, and I hope that I can stick with it this time and really go forward with it, because I've done it in the past. One time I did it a year and a half ago. I was running to over 200 miles a month. I was running. I was in awesome shape, and you know, and things just, you kind of forget and lose connection. But I wasn't even doing it as hardcore as I'm doing it now. I'm doing it right now super hardcore. So I'm so excited. I just want to share all this. So leave your comments or criticisms on the section below. Tell me what you think. 80-10-10. That's my 2014 results so far.